Welcome to the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. I'm your host, Kenneth.
And I'm your host, Kenneth.
Today's show is really serious. This is about 5 red flags of child predators every parent misses. Um, this topic is very serious because for anyone who has children, their safety should be your highest priority. Or if you are watching someone else's children, their safety has to be the highest priority over everything, okay? So we're going to start off with the first one. And this list isn't just for little kids or preteens, for teenagers too, right? All right, so here we go. The super sitter or excessive helpfulness. One of the most common red flags is someone who is overly eager to spend time with your child or provide free childcare. The sign, they constantly volunteer to take the child on outings, help with homework, or watch them while you run errands. Why it's missed. Parents are often busy and appreciate the kindness and the break. The reality, predators seek undisguised access to build a private bond with the child away from parental supervision. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
Well, there was a key word you used in there was volunteering. And
Right.
it's easy for parents to, you're tired, you need a break, and you got this nice person that's, oh, don't worry about it. Let me take the kids. Let me take them. Let me take them. So that's a real easy way for them to slide in.
That's a good one, isn't it? Okay. Treating the child as an equal. Predators often age up the child or age down themselves to create a peer-like relationship. The sign, they share adult secrets with the child, give them mature advice, or prefer the company of children over adults their own age. Why it's missed. It can look like the adult is just has a youthful spirit, or the child is exceptionally mature for their age. The reality, this is a tactic to isolate the child from their peers and make them feel special or chosen. Your thoughts?
Age up or age down. Interesting,
Yeah,
right? They can either
exactly.
make themselves seem younger or tell the child that they're more mature.
Exactly. That's a pretty clever trick. The next one, boundary testing and special rule breaking. Grooming often involves teaching a child that the rules don't apply when they are with that specific adult. The sign, the adult allows the child to do things you forbidden, like eating junk food, staying up late, or watching R-rated movies. They might say, "Don't tell your mom. This is our little secret." Why it's missed. The child enjoys the fun adult, and the parent may seem this as harmless spoiling because they don't know what's going on. So they just see, oh, they're just spoiling my child. The reality, this builds a culture of secrecy and tests whether the child will keep secrets from their parents. Your thoughts?
You get one chance. It happens one time, they cut off forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's over in my book.
I agree with you. The next one is target gift giving. Predators use gifts as a sense of obligation or to buy the child's loyalty. The sign, giving expensive gifts, electronics, clothes, money that are disproportionate to the to the relationship, especially if they are given privately. Why it's missed. It is often interpreted as generosity or a reward for being a good kid. The reality, the gifts are used to groom the child and sometimes the parent, making it harder for anyone to speak up against the generous person. So they're buying gifts for the child and the parents to kind of win them over. What are your thoughts on that, Kenny?
Just trying to brainwash everybody so they can get their way eventually.
Right, because
Yeah.
access is key. Emotional monitoring. In a digital age, a major red flag is an adult who is constantly checking in on a child. The sign, frequently texting, commenting on every social media post, or getting jealous if the child spends time with other friends. Why it's missed. It can look like a supportive mentor or coach who is invested in the child's success. The reality, this is a method of control and a way to ensure the adult is the primary influence in this child's life.
It's
Your
like
thought?
some type of obsessiveness, right? It's kind of
Exactly.
weird. Yeah, you got to be able to catch that early.
Right, because they're trying to make themselves look like heroes, but no. Okay. Now we're going to talk about children and technology. This is a big one, Kenny, isn't it?
Oh
What do you
man,
know about children using technology? How many children use technology, Kenny,
sitting there
today?
watching these videos. I
Right.
see these reels all the time of all of this danger on your roadblocks and Discord and all these things.
Exactly. And people often use technology as a what they call a technical leash, to kind of pacify their child while they can do other things while the child's just sitting there with their tablet just totally mesmerized.
Yeah,
Okay. The next one, children and technology. In 2026, parental concerns regarding Roblox Center on persistent predatory grooming, exposure to sexually explicit condo games, and the platform's alleged failure to prevent predators from moving children to unmoderated apps like Discord. As early as 2026, Roblox faces dozens of lawsuits from families and multiple state attorney generals alleging that it operates as a playground for predators due to inadequate age verification and moderation. Primary safety issues for children, grooming, and off platforming. Predators often befriend children in game and use Roblox virtual currency or limited items as bait. They frequently attempt to move conversations to a third party app like Discord, Snapchat, or WhatsApp, where the moderation is non existent. Sexually explicit content. Parents have reported children stumbling into condo or scented games under generated spaces designated for virtual sexual role play. Other games, such as Public Bathroom Simulator, has been cited in lawsuits for enabling simulated sexual assault,
Wow.
sextortion, and exploitation. Recent cases include children being coerced into sending explicit images, which are then used for blackmail. In 2024 alone, over 24,000 exploitation incidents were reported. Financial fraud and scams. Scammers target children with phishing links or free Robux websites that may download malware or steal account credentials. That was a lot, Kenny.
That was a lot. And you know what though? I don't understand how parents are not nosy enough to just kind of pry a little bit, like those parents, that say, "I had no idea that this was going on," things like that. It's like, how you have now, like now that we know that this is a real thing, we know that this exists. Of course, you
Right.
got to watch your kid's phone. Of course, you got to be in it. Of course, you got to be looking at their messages. You got to look at what they're playing. If my kids are playing games, I sit in there and watch. Just
Actually,
see what they're
good.
doing.
It's a
Yeah,
good idea. A lot of parents want to be their friends, their kids' friends, right? You can't be your child's friend, okay? You have to be their parent and you have to protect them. Being their friend, you can end up having your kid get into a bad situation. You have to parent first, friend last. Don't worry about being their friend.
yeah.
Okay, the next one, actionable safety steps for parents. Enable a PIN. Use the Roblox parental controls to lock settings so children cannot change them. Restrict communication. Set chat settings to friends only or off entirely to prevent contact from strangers. Monitor experiences. Use the platform's experience guidelines to restrict access to content intended for older audiences. So, what are your thoughts, Kenny, as far as parents need to keep up with technology? What should they do?
And learn how to use those restrictions. A lot of these, phones, and you can put time restrictions on it. So that's what we do. There's like after 7 p.m., it's off. Can't do anything. Can't get on the internet. Can't do
Oh,
anything.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, after a certain time, so you don't go to bed, and they're up at 10, 11 o'clock, and that's when those chats start, and that's when a lot of that nonsense goes on.
Right. And if you do set those settings, don't assume that your kid doesn't know a way around it. Kids are smart and resourceful. So you have to be two steps ahead so that they're not two steps ahead of you. Okay. Safety in general. Older siblings don't always make good babysitters, and it's not their responsibility. What are your thoughts?
If they if if they were told to babysit, it's their responsibility. But no, I don't think just in general, like that's a responsibility they have to take on. No.
Well, a lot of parents, they put the younger sibling on the older sibling like it's their child. Like they actually have that child. Actually, if you want to keep it real, it's not their responsibility. They don't have to watch them. You chose to have this child. That's your child, and it's your responsibility to watch them. It's nothing wrong with having, the older sibling help, but there are situations that they put the older sibling in charge at a very young age, right? I'm not talking about a teenager with a driver's license, but like someone, I did hear about a real story that happened. A child was 10 and they were watching their sibling who was 6 and they lost track of them. And that sibling was lost for 70 plus years, right? And that
Wow.
kid who was put in charge, who was 10, who shouldn't have been in charge at 10, but they had to live with that their whole life, knowing that their sibling was taken on their watch.
Yeah, that's
So,
terrible.
so I kind of have mixed feelings when it comes to, putting it on the older sibling. It's not their child. So I'm kind of like, eh.
That's
Now,
weird because I got four older siblings. I got four sisters, and they was always responsible for me. While my
Really?
parents worked, yeah, they had to watch me. If they didn't,
Now
they was
was
in trouble.
now was that when you were in the house, or were they charged with taking you everywhere with them and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. I remember being with my sister all the time. One time I got lost actually, and my dad, God, man, I thought he was gonna kill them when he came home. and
See,
when I got lost, it was totally my fault. I'm the one hopping on my little big wheel trying to go somewhere and follow people. I probably should have known better, but they were responsible. They got in trouble for it.
right, but see, that proves my point. They were not all kids are capable or good at being responsible for another life. They're still kids, So I kind of have
Yeah,
mixed feelings about that. Everyone, let us know what you think in the comments about that, about putting the other siblings in charge. Is it their responsibility to watch the kid that you chose to have? Okay, the next one. Don't leave your kids alone in the car, especially while it's unlocked and the engine is running. How many times
oh
have we heard
man,
this story, Kenny?
man, tired of hearing the story and people still doing it.
Yeah, I know. All the time. I just went in for a second and then someone jumped in the car with the kids and took off. And it's like, what? You left the car running and the kid in there? What's wrong with you? You
Dogs,
know,
animals, got the police out there breaking windows.
exactly. It's like, listen, you're responsible for this child's life. Whoever brought this child here or these children here, you're responsible, okay? Let me say it again for the people in the back. You're responsible. No one else. All right. The next one, hold your toddler's hand when in public. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so often that I see parents and the kid is 20 feet in front of them or 20 feet behind them. They're walking through the parking lots. People got massive SUVs. They can't see this child over the hood. I mean, it's absolutely insane. There are a bunch of morons that have kids, not all, but there's a lot of people who are irresponsible and don't watch their children. Hold your children's hand, especially when you're walking through a parking lot, for crying out loud. All right. Number 4, watch your kids while shopping in stores. I know someone who worked at a clothing store and said that kids got lost all the time because the parents are so busy shopping that they're not watching the kid. And the kid
Yeah.
will sometimes leave the store because this idiot is not watching.
And times
What
are
are your
different
thoughts?
nowadays. I remember being in the little department stores when my mom was shopping, and we used to go hide under the clothes, the little racks of
Right.
clothes. We used to hide them, and she wasn't paying attention at all. But we also would not go too far from her. But nowadays, kids will leave the whole entire mall, and
Exactly.
disappear. Yeah,
Exactly. And then that
I
same
never
parent
went
who wasn't
nowhere.
watching them, right. And then they're on Channel 5 News. Oh, please help get our kid and bring him back. It's like, listen, watch them in the first place, and you won't be on Channel 5. All right. Watch your kids, man. But yeah, but people don't. And it's the same thing in restaurants and movies. We were at the movies, and this little kid, he looked like he was maybe 5 or 6, was running through the aisles while the movie was playing. I mean, I'm talking about stepping on people's feet, running through the aisle until this guy just said, go to your parents. And then the kid ran 5 aisles back down to their parents. And it's like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Sorry for the rant. The next one. Stay off your cell phone while your kids play at the park. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, of course. Fall and break their neck, get hurt, or somebody just snatch them and run off with them, and you don't even see it.
And this has happened before. Unfortunately, I'm like, listen, even if it's just one child, that's one child too many. This shouldn't happen to any child. You have to watch your children.
But I do
All
got to
right,
give it
then.
up to parents nowadays, though, just to say this real quick, because I've been seeing at parks, there's a lot more parents there at the parks. So they are paying attention because there's a lot more parents than it used to be when we were growing up. So I'm seeing a
Absolutely.
lot of that now.
Absolutely. Hey, kudos to all the good parents out there who are watching your children and doing everything right and ensuring their safety. Much respect to you. Please continue. We want your kids safe. We want our kids safe. We want everyone's kids safe. Okay, the next one. Track your kids' phones and AirTag their book bags. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we have it. I mean, I can even see, if my daughter's in a car and they driving too fast, I can see how fast the car is going.
That's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. Okay, the next one. Check your teens' text messages. I know they'll claim invasion of privacy, but who cares? It's your job to keep them safe.
Yeah. I mean, it's automatic. They know anyway. They don't question it. We're gonna look at it.
I mean, yeah, sure, that's your kids and mine, but there are other kids. Mom and Dad, I hate you. You're not giving me privacy. Okay, we'll give you privacy. And then that kid ends up missing. Like, you don't have any privacy. And if you don't like it, too bad. Deal with it.
Or or just peer pressure or drugs or anything, any kind of
Yeah,
bad
because
stuff happens to there.
it's not limited to just being missing, right? They could overdose or get
Yeah,
sick or, anything could happen, right?
it
So
happens.
you don't have privacy when you're a teenager, all right? Uh, the next one, check your child's bedroom from time to time. Sure, they'll complain about privacy, but the goal is protecting them. In some cases, this could potentially save your child's life just to see what they're into.
Yep.
Because you can find a
I,
lot of clues in a kid's room, right, Kenny?
that's right. I agree with that.
Okay, the next one, talk to your kids about safety and not talking to strangers online or offline. What do you think?
Absolutely. I had a situation where I had to run to a drugstore because the guy cleaning in there, just mopping the floors or cleaning up, was saying way too much to my child.
Really?
And yeah, overly conversating. Oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful.
What?
This and this. She came home and told me.
Oh, no.
Funny part is she never saw the side of me, right? So she comes home
Right.
and tells me, she's like, Dad, something weird happened. I was like, yeah,
Okay.
what happened? She's like, well, the guy at the store, he come up first, he's like, hi. And she looked at him kind of weird. And then she
Okay.
went somewhere else to the makeup section to look at something. And she said he mopping, and he came back over there and he said, hi, beautiful. Again, as
Oh,
she's telling me the story, you should see me. I'm putting on my shoes at the same time. I was like, he
okay.
did, huh? I was like, he did. What did he say? What did he say? Oh,
You were ready
tell
to
me one more
go.
time. What did he say? And then I'm grabbing my keys at the same time.
Okay.
She's like, what are you doing? I was like, we're gonna go up there and talk to him.
Right.
So yeah,
Did
I
you go
went
up
up there
there?
and I did,
Okay.
man. I did. I don't normally do stuff like that, man, but
Okay.
I just had to make sure. I just had to make sure. But I went up there and checked him. He looked like he was a little off, you know, on that. So I kind of backed down a little bit, but at the same time, I had to check him. And when I saw how scared he was and he was apologizing profusely, just saying
Right.
he was being polite, I just told him it was inappropriate. And I said, don't
Absolutely.
do that to any more little kids that walk into the store. You don't speak to them in that way.
Yeah, I definitely do not address people's children. Now, if I think that the child is in danger, sure, I'll speak up then. But if I don't see any immediate danger, I don't address people's children. I just don't do that.
Right.
Um, Have you seen this? There's a YouTube channel. I forgot what it's called, but what they do is they stage abductions with the parents. They'll set up an online profile and they'll talk to the parent's kid. And
Yeah.
and the kid doesn't know that it's a setup and they set it up and they always end up abducting the child with the parents present right there just as a test. Have you ever
With the
seen
one
that?
lady, yeah, the lady with her
Yes.
and the husband, they had the mask on in the car, and
Yes.
they wanted to see if the daughter would go in the car, and she actually went. And then they
Right.
pretended to kidnap her and then pulled off the mask, and the mom was like tripping.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
everyone out there watching, this can be your kid too. So talk to them constantly to make sure that they'll follow because these parents on this show were sure, they were absolutely sure that their kids would not meet up with the person. And they did almost pretty much every time. So be careful.
yeah,
Um, we're going to end this on a good note, okay? Now, this is going back to what we were saying about your kids don't have privacy and to track them and see what they're doing. The source is CNN, and this was an abduction story with a happy ending. One day, um, a father and his family were enjoying the holiday. This was in Texas when his 15-year-old daughter went out to walk the dog and didn't come back, authorities said. When she was out past the time it normally takes to complete the walk, her parents became concerned. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office wrote in a social media post, distressed, the father turned on the parental controls on the teen's cell phone and tracked her location to a secluded and partially wooded area in Harris County, about 2 miles from their home, less than 30 minutes outside of Houston. The father followed the signal into the woods. The father helped the daughter escape from the truck and contacted authorities who were able to, with the help of eyewitnesses at the scene, locate the truck and identify the driver as 23-year-old Giovanni Rosales Espinoza, who was arrested. The best line of defense is proactive parents. So he
right.
didn't give his kids privacy. And look what happened. He
Yep.
was tracking her. He was watching because a lot of parents, when the kid goes out and walks their dog, the parent doesn't time or they're not paying attention. Most parents wouldn't even notice, right? But
Right.
he was
That's a good
watching.
story.
He was keeping up with the time, and he saved his child's life. So don't give your kids privacy. Don't give them privacy,
Amazing.
right, Kenny?
That's a great story. Yeah.
Exactly. So, um, if any of you out there have any information that you want to share with our audience, this is very important, right? If you have any information that to give any pointers or tips or tricks or anything that's going to help to keep someone's child safe, please click the link below, or you can go to usingmyvoice.com where there's instructions on how you can share your information with us and we can use it here on the show and share it for others because your information could lead to someone else's breakthrough. Kenny, do you have anything else before we close?
No, that's right. Definitely interested in hearing what anybody else can share. And just remember, if you think no one else cares, we care.
We care here on the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. Click the link below for instructions on how to share your story on our show. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.